this is Sean Kelly, and I'm on the red carpet of the 2025 Blood and Snow Film Festival. So, what's your name and what film do you have this year?
Yeah, my name is Andrew G. Cooper, and I had a short film played in bits. It's called Strangers.
So, can you talk a bit about the plot of the film?
Yeah, it's about two people who are trapped in a basement while there's aliens prowling the streets outside. The young male protagonist is trying to get back to a loved one during this time of crisis, essentially. And then in the end, there's a big, scary alien puppet.
Yeah, I thought the effects were actually quite good for the short.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm really into practical effects. So we built this huge puppet and we were trying to do something kind of cool and different with it. So thanks so much.
A lot of blue goo.
Yes, yeah. We had a lot of weird SFX stuff, blue goo and the makeup. Yeah, at one point it's like coming out of someone's mouth and like in their eyes and stuff. So yeah, it was a really fun project from that point of view for sure.
So what does it feel like playing at Blood and Snow?
It was great. The audiences here are really fun. They're very vocal. I heard someone in the row near me like audibly gasp during a moment in my film. And like, as a filmmaker, that's always fun. And people were chuckling at the part that I was like, this is the funny part. So yeah, it's been great. It's a super fun festival.
And you're actually part of Blood and Snow's new shorts program, Martians and Monsters, the sci-fi program. So what does it feel to have that honor?
I'm so excited. Kelly was talking about the festival programmer. Kelly was talking about it, saying that he's been wanting to do this program for like a decade. So being able to be part of the inaugural program was very, very cool. And as a filmmaker, it was also just really neat seeing all the other sort of monsters and Martians that were programmed in the same shorts block. I was thrilled. As a monster lover, like I made a monster short film, so I love monsters. It was really cool to come out and just see what other people are doing and to take it in. It was a blast.
All right, thanks. The film you worked on?
My name is Prasanna. I'm the director, writer, and producer of Sanctorum, and also VFX.
Yeah. I'm Gavin Downs. I'm a producer and lead actor in the film Sanctorum.
So talk a bit about the plot of the film.
So Sanctorum is about, happens in this rugged post-apocalyptic world where this former engineer was sort of losing his mind. And is, with whatever knowledge he has left, building an AI robot to fight another entity that's out there. And that's the huge, bigger premise of it. In this movie, we wrote it as a feature, and the short is more of a pitch package. That's how we structured it. Yeah.
So I remember the short having some impressive visual effects to it.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot. We shot this movie in 2020. It took us like 5 years to complete it. There's a lot of VFX. There's a lot of learning curve, right, throughout the process. I got to, redo a lot of things, relearn a lot of things. So, and like 80% of the movie shot in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
Right, and without any dialogue. So, a lot is visually driven. But yeah.
So, what does it feel like playing in this is a sci-fi program?
It's great. I've been following these guys for years, and I do visual effects. So a lot of my movies that I did VFX on played in the festival, but to have one of my own to play in the festival is a huge deal.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And anyways, I don't know if you want to add something.
No, I'm just, I love seeing how far Blood and Snow has come. Kelly's a good friend of mine, and I'm super happy for them and very honored to be a part of the first ever sci-fi segment of their festival. So that's a lot of fun, and just glad to be here celebrating with Prasanna. And our team put a lot of hard work into it, so I'm glad to see it be able to be screened for the public.
All right, thanks. Playing at the festival.
Yes, my name is Shelly Findlay. I am the director of Donations.
So could you talk a bit about what the film is about?
Yes, so Donations is a not too distant dystopian world where in order to access our smartphones, we have to donate blood into the phone. The world economic system has collapsed, and we're using a biocurrency, which is blood. And we focus on one fellow in particular named JC, who is trying to check in on his ex-girlfriend, and he is forced to donate a serious amount of blood in order to creep her social media feed.
Yeah. So I kind of interpreted this short as being about our increasing addiction to technology.
Absolutely. So we do have a parallel within the film of other addictions. But really, at the end of the day, we also wanted to focus on the human aspect of it, of a guy who just, he's lost the love of his life, and and then there's a whole layer of technology on top of that.
Yeah, I think one of the major plot points in the short is the guy trying to figure out how to circumvent the limitations of giving too much of your glucose.
Exactly. There is a black market that emerges in this world, similar to what happens in our own world. So he's found a way around it, much to his own detriment. I don't want to give too much away, but yes.
So you played as part of the Dark Visions program, so that's more the strictly horror program at BIT. So what are your thoughts on this being a horror short?
Well, we were very flattered to be included in the Dark Visions program. I think it's more psychologically horrific, more so. There's no, even though there's blood involved, it's not overly graphic, I guess you could say. So we wanted to focus more on the psychological terror of what would happen in this situation.
Great, thanks. Petit demons. So, introduce yourself.
Sorry?
Introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Juan Francisco Calero. I'm a writer and director of Petit Demons. Yeah, I have been selected here in Beats. I've been a fan of Beats for a long time, so super grateful to be here.
So, Petit Demons played as part of the Bits and Bytes series. So could you talk a bit more about it?
Yes, that section is for web series. Petit Demons is web series. We just released the pilot. We have finished part of the second episode, but more is coming. Yeah.
So I thought that it had a kind of like a bit of a graphic novel feel to it.
You are completely right. Yeah, my reference, even aesthetically, as it's been some graphic novel that they are very, very gritty, like the original Ninja Turtles. The line was super dark around there and that. And a part of the format, 5 minutes is not because we didn't have more money or we were lazy. It's the time it takes more or less to read a comic book issue, a single one. So 5 minutes is kind of that's experiment. Let's see if we can get that spirit when you read a graphic novel.
Yeah. No, the first episode doesn't really explain it. Why are the demons petite?
Oh yeah, yeah. The thing is that the information is very condensed. I'm afraid. So you have to see it several times. But yeah, it's Petit Demons. As she say, it's because her captor called the pulsion that he was feeling for abusing her because the Petit Demons make him do it. But no, it doesn't have to be Petit Demons, but she still visualized them as Petit Demons.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
The film you're involved with.
Yes. I'm Lulu. I'm the director of Cherry on Top. And I'm Darcy. I'm the writer and producer of Cherry on Top.
So, what inspired you to make this film?
You want to take this question? Okay. So when we first started thinking about this film, it was actually during COVID. So we were thinking, what can we film with the restrictions, with a limited crew and a limited cast? We ended up developing it a little bit later, but during COVID, we asked ourselves a lot of questions, like what would it be like growing up during those restrictions, being, I guess, coming of age during that time. And we pulled a lot of inspiration from our own experiences with girlhood, the things that influenced us, like teeny bopper magazines, for example. And then we looked at other themes related to femininity. So we used the lens of religion to explore like purity and restraint. And then something, if you want to talk about the monstrous femininity.
We kind of looked into a lot of horror films and inspiring this movie and came across this genre called the monstrous feminine, which is like, there's a lot of horror movies about like the women's bodies going under stages that people are not familiar with. So like pregnancies and puberty is often like a central point for horror. So really looking into that and just like, policing female bodies and like changing female bodies, kind of seeing what that's like.
Well, like I found that the plot is pretty much like the conflict between religion and sexuality, and then the kind of girls like have their own interpretation of BDSM practices. So could you maybe talk a bit about that?
I think that in the film, very much we wanted the magazines to be their biblical text and make that very clear as it was for us at the time. And there was something very satirical, I think, and also looking back to our childhood of like, oh my gosh, what is BDSM? And kind of like maybe peeking it and not trying to understand it fully and having these like really poor understandings of it just because I guess sexual education is not that readily available. So there was something really fun about poking into that and kind of, like seeing these like little advances that girls are trying to make towards like blossoming into their adulthood, but not quite getting it. I find really fun. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting parallels between religion and eroticism, especially like BDSM. In the actual quiz, we talked about concepts of like dominance and submission, and I think that's very prevalent in any systems of power, so religion being one of them.
So, this play is part of the Funny Frights program. Do you consider this to be a comedy?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. And like we were talking about this yesterday after playing the entire program. Consistently, I think from our screenings, we're always a little bit apprehensive. Like, obviously it's kind of out there in terms of what it's trying to tackle and like the senses of humor that it was trying to tap into. But it really was a good home for it. And we saw some really like even more outlandish things yesterday. So it was a really nice kind of home for it, for sure.
Yeah, the program itself was so well curated. It was interesting seeing these different interpretations of horror, seeing what was similar with our film and the other programs, and then also how it very vastly varied from short film to short film.
All right, thanks. Do you have any on the snow?
My name is Zach Green, and I have a film called Cancer Season that's playing above the snow. It's a Toronto premiere.
And I watched the film, and I thought it was like cancer, but it was actually cancer horoscope.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a bit of a, I don't know, you gotta watch the movie to find out that it's about astrology, but it's about a witch who is a Cancer, who has a kind of suffocating obsession with her old best friend, and ties herself to her bed one night and casts a body swapping spell on the friend's new partner so she can be in this relationship for the day. And it's called Cancer Season because I was using astrology to introspect and do like shadow work and look at my past of like missteps in romance and where I can be obsessive, and water signs are famously very emotional. And
Yeah, so you're playing in the Emerging Screams program. So what does it feel to be part of these up-and-coming filmmakers?
It's exciting. It's like my first funded short, and it definitely is like, I was hoping for it to be like kind of a calling card for my style. Now that I'm done it, I'm like, I don't know, I'm always going to be wanting to develop my style in new ways, but it's really exciting. I'm excited to see the films of my peers as well, and this has been a great time so far. So
yeah, I did notice like it was like a visual style, like photo negative kind of.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun in the edit just playing with this specific red negative look where it wasn't in the script, and then I realized I could kind of match on action with these kind of images of Patty fantasizing about being with Elaine, and then me and my colorist got super into it. And the color is, I'd say, one of the more standout parts of the film. Got pretty obsessive over that.
All right, thanks. All right, so Blood and Snow Festival director and founder Kelly Michael Stewart.
Hey, Sean.
Hello. So, we've known each other for pretty much the entire existence of the festival.
I think so, yeah. Probably right from year 1 or 2, yeah.
Year 2.
Year 2? Okay, there you go. Yeah, no, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see you here, too. So, yeah.
So, Let Us Know has actually grown quite a bit over the last few years. So, what are your comments on that?
Yeah, it's amazing. We don't know the exact numbers yet, but it's like grown by at least 15% so far. But also just the vibes of it's really been great, and it's been really good crowds, both for the industry conference and for the screenings. And I'm not really sure why. I think other than maybe our reputation's been growing, and I think there's a lot of elbows up as well that's kind of helping encourage people to see Canadian content right now. But overall, I just think we've always had sustainable growth right from very first year, and I think it just keeps happening, and it's pretty wonderful what we've all created.
Well, by my observation, the turning point was when you went to Super Channel during the pandemic.
That's a very accurate observation. Yeah, they were a big help for us during the pandemic. We were the few organizations that did quite well in the sense that we were on Super Channel for 2020, and then we did hybrid in 21 and 22, and that really kind of put us in a new level. We were able to move to this big theater, the Isabel Bader Theater, and they stayed with us for 5 years, so we really appreciated it.
Yeah, I noticed that they were not on the sponsorship this year.
Yeah, but all good things come to an end, and we're really good. They were actually still guests on our roundtables this year, and so they're still friends of ours and stuff like that. And we had a wonderful 5 year. I was expecting 1 year, and we got 5 years out of that. So we're really great friends with them.
So what were some of the big sellers this year?
Nash the Slash. We're about to have that premiere right now, and I think it will be pretty much rush line for that. We'll see how that goes. And it's been amazing. So we've got that. That's been a big one. Our opening film, Son of Sarah, was a really big one. And surprisingly or not surprisingly, some of our shorts programs really blown up. Our Funny Frights and Unusual Sights was our biggest seller we've ever had up to this Nash the Slash screening. So it's pretty incredible to see such an audience build for that. And so it's interesting to see. I think a lot more people are watching short films than they did pre-pandemic. So it seems a new trend that's happening in cinema.
Okay,
thank you. All right.
And Nash the Slash strikes again. So, what inspired you to make this documentary?
Well, look at pictures of him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's intriguing, just from a visual perspective. But as soon as you start to unwrap a little bit, you realize there's an incredible human story behind it.
Absolutely.
And pun intended.
Absolutely. We had Death by 1,000 Cuts, cutting edge, unwrapped, all that stuff. We're going to do it all night long.
So, could you talk about the cultural impact of Nash the Slash?
The cultural impact of Nash the Slash. That's a loaded question, actually, because he was a really niche performer in his time, and even when he was at the height of his powers, he still was a very polarizing figure, right? So the people that do remember him very fondly and are super passionate fans. But there was also a lot of people that didn't get him, and so those people just wrote him off as a novelty or a joke. So we're hoping to right those wrongs because we feel that he did some really interesting, pioneering work. He started doing electronic music as a one-man band in the 70s. Nobody was doing that. And he was also a fascinating character. So behind the bandages, there's a great story to be told.
Well, one interesting thing that I took away from the documentary is how his collaborations with Bruce McDonald for the early films, including appearing in Roadkill. That I did not know.
Oh yeah. It's he was a really good friend with our executive producer, Colin Runty, who also produced those early McDonald films. And so when they were doing a bar scene, did somebody cancel the Nash in the last second? That's great. Yeah.
He was supposed to be in the film, but clearly Nash was the right person for that job.
Yeah.
The clip in the film of Don McKellar saying, "This is violence and you like it."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that must have been written on the spot because I don't think Nash was in the script originally. But man, oh man, what a great soundbite, and he put it to excellent use. So yeah.
featuring Gary Newman and Iggy Pop in the film as well.
Oh yeah, well, we were just doing an interview a minute ago. We were talking about how he attracted really interesting, fascinating people, and yeah, Iggy Pop, Gary Newman are among them, and why not? I mean, look at what he did and how he did it, and he kind of made his own mark, and I think guys like Iggy and Gary respect that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where real innovation recognizes innovation. In their time, Gary Newman at the sort of forefront of electronic music, and it's ascendance into the mainstream, and then you have Iggy Pop. The Stooges is like one of those bands that influenced a billion other bands. So when those kinds of iconic artists recognize Nash and see in him something unique, you gotta that's a story that's worth telling. That's a Canadian story that we don't tell as much as we should, right?
Yeah. So Nash Slash was based in Toronto. So how does it feel screening the film in Toronto?
I think. Well, actually, it's funny because the North American premiere is here in Toronto. The world premiere was in London, England, like 3 weeks ago, something like that. He made a mark there in the early '80s. But it feels good to do it here because there's so much of his personal friends, his family, people that he made connections with throughout his life are all going to come out tonight. So it does feel like a really special time.
Okay, well, congratulations on the North American premiere of Nash the Slash Rises Again.
Rises Again.
Rises Again. Okay.
Just like bread.
Okay, thanks. All right, thanks.